Abandon the party and vote for Donald Trump, another outsider. Let's bring in clinical psychologist Dr. Jennifer Duffy on this. What do you think, doctor?
Well, I think what people were attracted to Bernie was because he spoke the truth. And Donald Trump and their messages aren't really all that different, that the system is rigged, it's broken, and it needs to be fixed because it only benefits an elite group of people in power. So now that Bernie's done a complete 180 and is endorsing Hillary, who represents everything he's always said he hates, the voters or his supporters are really left with two choices. You could go with the person who speaks the truth, even if you don't like it, like Trump, because clearly Hillary can't be trusted, or you go with somebody who tells you what you want to hear and never makes statements that aren't politically correct.
Well, and I've been saying this for months. There's a lot of commonality between these two candidates. I mean, when you look at the issues, when you look at trade, they're saying basically the same thing. They may have slightly different solutions to it. And that's not true for Hillary Clinton. Look, she said that TPP was the gold standard 40-something times. You look at big money in politics. You know, she's taken $49 million from hedge fund guys. Donald Trump's taken $19,000. You know, so there's a lot of commonality between trade and campaign finance reform between Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump. So it doesn't surprise me at all that I think we're seeing more and more Sanders people taking a look at Trump.
Sure. And his message has been consistent. He really hasn't changed in what he said. I mean, does he say things at times that maybe he should rethink and state in a better way? Absolutely. But I think in general, you can trust what he's saying. You know,
the psychology, though, of being with an outsider, can you easily go from backing that type of candidate to somebody who's so deeply on the inside like a Hillary Clinton? How does that psychology work?
I think it really depends on what is most important to you. If you really want somebody that you can trust that will tell you the truth, or you want somebody who's an insider that's going to just keep things the way that they've always been.
Well, how about voting for a candidate that you know cannot win, like Jill Stein or Gary Johnson? What's the psychology there?
I was thinking about that. Yeah. Or like not voting at all.
Or not voting at all. Yeah.
Well, not voting at all is really a matter of like learned helplessness. Like, why bother? It's not going to make a difference. And I think what people are realizing and waking up is that what we were taught in school, one vote, one voice, it really doesn't matter.
How important is emotion in the polling booth? When you go to vote in November, is my emotion going to drive my vote, or is my brain going to drive my vote?
I think it's emotion. I definitely think so. People are really angry, and people feel very strongly one way or the other. And, you know, you can't wake up somebody who's pretending to be asleep. So no matter if you are a Hillary supporter or a Trump supporter, whatever things that come out are negative, people are going to say, I know, but I don't care.
So doesn't it come down to people are going to vote for what they believe in, right? So that's if they can believe in Donald Trump, or if they can believe in going back to a Jill Stein or Gary Johnson, they may not win, but you're voting for what you believe.
Right. You're voting your conscience.
Right, exactly. So is it going to come down to what people believe in on foreign policy, whether they want to focus on the radical Islam or the economy? I mean, is that what's really going to drive it?
I mean, those are really core values, and those things really don't change. So wherever you are leaning is what you're going to go with. If you really believe that foreign policy or Donald Trump's view on foreign policy, you don't agree with it, you're not going to vote for him. You're going to go with Hillary even if you don't trust her, and vice versa.
I wonder how many voters are out there that are saying that, you know, we've seen articles now posted, Dagan, about the voter that is quietly going to vote for Donald Trump. You know, that
psychology of not telling your friends and family members.
Absolutely. It's become a very toxic issue that people are so divided and so polarized. So most people will kind of dance around just to feel one another out to see where they're coming from before they admit, oh, yeah, that's who I was going to vote for, too. It's kind of like a secret, a dirty little secret.
Yeah, without question. I mean, I experienced a little bit of this when I was, like, coming out of the closet to support Trump after supporting Sanders. And so I can actually tell you, and I know firsthand, I actually know people that were in the Sanders campaign and people that are other Democratic consultants that are saying, yeah, I'm taking a look at him. And so I think there's a whole other layer of, hey, this may impact my job if I publicly support him as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
People get very emotional.
The psychology of shame.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely.
So don't talk politics in the office. Is that what?
or anywhere unless you know who you're talking
on
to.
Dates. I mean, talk about the relationship trouble in established relationships where you have I'd say partners who are on opposing sides, but also people who are trying to date in this political environment.
I think that's a deal breaker these days.
Can you avoid talking about it? Is that wise?
I mean, you could ask a few questions just to see where somebody's leaning. It's not really all that hard to figure out.
Yeah, I've heard, you know, women say, you're not a woman, you don't understand Hillary Clinton. Well, I think men and women understand lying quite well. Jennifer, good to see you.
Thank
Dr.
you.
Jennifer Duffy.
Thank you.
Coming up.